Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow your heads. Our Heavenly Father, we are gathered here today to recognize seniors for their high school accomplishments. Many people have worked hard for the past 3 years. Whether the skills involved are academic, athletic, or some other talent, we have all put forth our best efforts. Thank you for this opportunity to recognize our achievements. Lord, we are thankful for each senior, whether they are recognized today or not. We know every senior is special in some way. Unfortunately, we are not aware of some of our classmates' talents. We are thankful for our parents and teachers, for we realize that many of our successes are related to their guidance. Lord, calm our hearts and clear our minds so that we may take time to praise and honor you as you have provided the opportunities which bring honor to us. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Our salutatorian's parents are Mr. and Mrs. Fred Robbins. During his 3 years at Forrest, he has participated in JV football, Key Club, Beta Club, National Honor Society, Spanish Club, Math Field Day Team, and Brain Brawl competition. His honors include being named as our school's representative for the Pride Award in English, serving as captain of the Brain Brawl team this year, and being elected by his classmates as the senior boy most likely to succeed. Certainly the most prestigious honor that he has received is having been named a National Merit Finalist, which is the ultimate of academic recognition for high school students. In short, this means that he academically is in the top half of 1% of 12th graders across the nation. His plans are to attend FSU, where he will receive a National Merit Scholarship. Number 2 in a class of 350, grade point average 4.32857. It is my pleasure to present the salutatorian of the class of 1985, James Terry Robbins. Very proud parents to stand, Mr. and Mrs. Robbins.
Fellow graduating seniors, we are rapidly approaching a momentous occasion in our relatively short lives, graduation. 12, maybe even 13 years of diligence and perseverance will culminate in one ceremony dedicated to us and to this major accomplishment. Although this ceremony will be but a brief moment, the memories from it and our years in school will linger on. These memories are partly due to the monopoly that schools had on our lives. We have spent approximately 1/4 of the past 12 or 13 years in school or at school-related events. This monopoly can be considered partly of our own choosing through the participation in our viewing of athletic events, contests, pageants, club activities, etc. Many of these were quite enjoyable and they enriched our educational experience. In fact, this enrichment may even have overshadowed the actual education as the memories may later prove. But as we depart from this phase of our lives, we must realize that new and exciting activities still replace the doings of old, abandoned but not forgotten. One aspect of our schooling that most assuredly will not be forgotten is all around us, our friends. The many friendships that we have formed have been nurtured by the years, and our school attendance has served only to strengthen these bonds. In fact, we probably formed, or at least improved, our best friendships during our high school tenure, and through our efforts that may continue long after the school year ends. Although others may assume partial credit for our presence at graduation, we are responsible for this and quite deserving of all the benefits that will be bestowed upon us. Our efforts through high school have dictated that we be here, and the many paths that we have utilized to reach its convergence may serve through reflection as guides for our future. Each of us should be proud of our achievements, but not dwell on them for the rest of our lives lay before us. But we should fondly remember the people and events that have permanently influenced our lives.
Awards and honors with the introduction of National Honor Society. As I introduce the members of National Honor Society, I would ask them to please stand and remain standing until everyone's name has been called. I would like to ask the audience to hold the applause until the whole group has been introduced. National Honor Society, 1984-85. Mark Adams. Clarissa Belgado, Vice President. John Brinkman, Chaplain. John Brown. Andrea Caparelli, Historian. Anthony Camarsi. Louis Carney. Lisa Caruso. Susan Kolakar. David Hack. Elizabeth Janney, Secretary. Cecilia Johnson. Stephanie Kelly. Shannon Kirkland. Lisa Lee. Lindsay McLeod, Michelle McDaniel, Andrea Mazer, Scott Miller, John Olson, Stacy Pillow, Laura Post, Jane Rhodes, Terry Robbins Treasurer, Donna Santos, Mark Schuneman, Lisa Seniors, Mike Stacy, Amy Surio, Sophia Tarkin, Joyce Wilson, Chris Wood President, Rose Wood, and Michelle Zaboral. These seniors are our top academic seniors, grades 9 through 12. The Outstanding National Honor Society member presented by Mrs. Linda Moore for providing leadership and unlimited time to the many activities sponsored by NHS, to Chris Wood. Citizenship, Donor Forest High School, presented by Mr. James Watson, for exemplifying the qualities that we sometimes take for granted, the qualities of good citizenship. And that award goes to Laura Post, Mike Stacy, and Veronica Smith. The Ray R. Stasto Scholarships, presented by Mrs. Betty Jones. $250 scholarships to the schools of their choice, to Mark Adams and James Lord. The Allied Science Award, presented by Mr. David Baker, Director of the Engineering Department of Allied Bendix Aerospace. This is a certificate of merit and 5 shares of common stock from Allied Corporation. And this award goes to Scott Miller. For displaying good citizenship and Americanism, presented by Mr. Arthur Tropp and That award goes to John Brinkman. The American Legion School Medal Award, the donor American Legion Lakeshore Post 137, presented by Mr. J.M. Frazier for exemplifying the qualities of courage, honor, leadership, patriotism, scholarship, and service to Lisa Caruso and John Brown. Anchor Scholarship, presented by Ms. Kim Wiggins, a $250 scholarship to the school of her choice. That award goes to Chris Wood. Anchor Club Outstanding Member, presented by Mrs. Jenny Wallace. And that award goes to Chris Almond. The Art Awards, presented by Ms. Carol Children. The outstanding senior art students in drawing and painting. Their work is currently on exhibit at the Jacksonville Art Museum. Dorothy Jarman, Roland Matos, and Willie Ney. I would like to add that Roland is a United States Congressional Exhibition finalist. Excuse me. Another art award, a $1,000 scholarship to the Savannah College of Art and Design to Jason Markham. And a special commendation from Florida Junior College to Lori Boyd and Wayne Street. The Athletic Awards, presented by Coach Paul Ferrero. The Outstanding Male Athlete, as selected by the coaches, to John Brown. One senior has earned a Forrest athletic blanket by earning 7 letters in 3 sports, 3 in cross country, 1 in basketball, and 3 in track. And that person is Mark Adams. The Coke Athletic Award, presented by Coach Paul Ferrero, to Mark Adams. The Business Awards. The BCE Outstanding Co-op Student, presented by Ms. Ruth Nelson, to Michelle Smith. The FBLA presented by Ms. Ruth Nelson, to Debbie Gale and Diane Garrett. The outstanding DCT students presented by Mrs. Ruby Gray. Those awards are presented to Janet Hardy, Mike House, Gina Worden, and Cindy Parker, the outstanding DCT co-op student. Mrs. Gray will also present the award the Mildred Anderson Scholarship, presented by Mrs. Gray. This scholarship is in the amount of $500 to Debbie Gale. The last business award is the Outstanding Business Student from Northside Skills Center, which incidentally draws from high schools all over the county. Mrs. Carol Egner is here to award this presentation to Nancy Kirby. The next presentation is of special significance. Shortly after December the 21st, 1984, the family and friends of Catherine Harris began contributing to a scholarship fund in her memory. Catherine's mother is here today to make the first annual scholarship presentation, which this year is a $500 award to the college of the recipient's choice. The recipient is charged with the responsibility of taking up the challenge in life through higher education, serving our country, and allowing his dreams to fly. Mrs. Nancy Harris will present this to Steve Ivey.
Presented by Mr. S. Lee Stayer, who is the Executive Vice President for Junior Achievement. It's a $250 cash award, and it goes to Rose Wood. An award in appreciation of service to Forrest High School, the donor is Forrest High School, will be presented by Dr. Camille Napier to Rusty Grimes, James Lord, and Jane Rhodes. The Epsilon Award will be presented by Mrs. Betty Jones for time, devotion, and service to the following recipients: Kim Cyrus, Charlotte Hobbs, Laura Post, Donna Santos, and Joyce Wilson. Junior College, in conjunction with the University of North Florida, will hand out scholarships for these following amounts. The presenter will be Mrs. Sue Sumner, and the general scholarship of $500 per year will go to the following: Paula Kaysen and Kelly Wise. Academic achievement scholarships of $1,000 per year will go to Anthony Camarsi, David Half, please come forward, and Greg Rome and Mark Shinneman. A full tuition scholarship to FJC and UNF is given to Joyce Wilson. The French Award will be presented by Mrs. Dorothy Corbin to Rose Maxey and Michelle Saboral. The Good Citizenship Award, the donor is the Jacksonville chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution, is presented by Mrs. Velma Reeves, the regent of the Jacksonville chapter of the DAR. And this goes to Stephanie Kelly and Mark Myers. The Guidance Award, presented by Mrs. Helen Gerhardt for loyal service to the Guidance Office, goes to Carol Cheshire and Liz Salisbury. The Citizenship Award, presented by Forrest High School, or given by Forrest High School, will be presented by the principal, Mr. Ron Poppel, to Clarissa Delgado, Kim Dodge, and Elizabeth Janney. The Hearing Impaired Award will be presented by Ms. Heather Thompson. These are the first seniors who have participated in the Supersonics Performing Group, to Lovey Barrett, Glenda Gibbons, and Wanda Wright. Economics Award, presented by Ms. Edna DeAngelis, for having done well in all 5 home economics classes that she has taken. It goes to Glenda Head. The challenge to aspire nobly, adventure daringly, and serve humbly. This goes to Veronica Smith and Mark Myers. The Industrial Arts Graphics Award is presented by Mr. Joe Basso And the outstanding graphic student for 3 years is Ronnie Boyd. The Junior Class Scholarship is presented by Mr. Robert Day. It's a $200 scholarship to the school of the recipient's choice, Miss Rose Wood. We also have an Army College Fund Award that is to be presented to Sophia Tarkin.
Our next award is the Key Club Outstanding Member. It's presented by Mr. Paul Ferreira to Tom Tidwell. Language Arts Awards, presented by Mr. Sam Shive. The 3 outstanding senior English students to Andrea Caffarelli, Cecilia Johnson, and Terry Robbins. Latin Awards presented by Mrs. Dorothy McIntyre Corbin in the absence of Ms. Hunter for maintaining an A average in Latin, Clarissa Delgado and Lisa Senior. Outstanding achievement in the 1985 Math Field Day. He placed second in the Math Bee, a competition involving the top 15 math students from all over Duval public and private high schools. To Scott Miller. Presented by Mr. Warren Kegenbein to the outstanding 4th-year math student, John Brinkman. To the outstanding 5th-year math student, Stephanie Kelly. The top scoring student in the annual high school mathematics exam, sponsored by the Mathematics Association of America, John Brinkman. The Fern Crow Scholarship is presented to an outstanding senior in math to remember Forrest's first math department head and to commemorate the many years of devotion she gave to our school and to her students. The Fern Crow Scholarship is presented by Mrs. Crow's daughter, Mrs. Carol Easter, and it's presented to Sophia Tarkin. The Frank Ulrich Scholarship is presented to an outstanding senior in math and tribute to one of our former teachers for his contributions to the Forrest Math Program and to the tradition of excellence in Forrest. The scholarship is presented by Mr. Ulrich to David Hack. by Mrs. Sue Culpepper. For dedicated service to the Media Center, Georgette Blau. National Merit Certificate, presented by Mrs. Beth Starnes, to our 2 National Merit finalists, Scott Miller and Terry Robbins. Service Award, the donor is Forrest High School, presented by Mrs. Linda Vaughn, for generous service to their school, to Rusty Grimes and Jane Rhodes. Perfect Attendance Award, presented by Mr. Joe Seeger. For perfect attendance in the 12th grade, the recipients are Susan Neerman, Amy Surio, and Ronald Vargas. For perfect attendance, grades 8 through 12, the recipient is Jason Markham. Our next award President Reagan is recognizing for the second year the high school seniors who have attained a 3.3 grade point average, who have consistently scored above the 80th percentile on nationally recognized standardized tests, and who have completed at least 12 academic units. President Reagan has indirectly designated Ms. Helen Gerhardt, Ms. Jula Freeman, and Ms. Betty Jones to present these awards. As I call your name, if you will come down and receive your certificates and pins from the 3 ladies. Please hold your applause till I call all the names. Andrea Caparelli, Terry Robbins, Stephanie Kelly, Lewis Carney, Scott Miller, Mike Stacy, John Brinkman, Joyce Wilson, Elizabeth Janney, Clarissa Belgado, David Haff, Amy Surio, Michelle Zavorel, Mark Schooneman, Chris Wood, Stacy Pillow, Cecilia Johnson, Lindsay McLeod, Laura Post, Martin Watts, Gary Blood, Lisa Seniors, Emily Kirby, Lisa Caruso, Rose Wood, Jane Rhodes, Jacob Favela, Angela Bowers, Stuart Ort, and John Olson. Our next award is the PTSA Award. It's presented by Mrs. Kathy Eckloff, and it's presented to Lisa Caruso and John Curran. The Rebel Review Award, presented by Mrs. Susan Collins, to Outstanding Senior Journalists, Andrea Caffarelli and Kim Dodge.
The Science Award is presented by Ms. Janice Lamb, and the Outstanding Science Student is Scott Miller. The Service Club of the Year is presented by Mr. Ed Yakabuchi, and that goes to the Kies. The club sponsor of the year will be presented by Mr. Ed Yakabuchi, and it goes to Ms. Patty Linehan, Kies sponsor. And the Outstanding Club Officer will be presented by Mr. Ed Yakabuchi, and it goes to Paula Shockley, Kies. The Social Studies Award will be presented by Mr. Ken Brockington, and the recipients are Gary Blood, John Brinkman, Andrea Caparella, Scott Miller, Amy Surio, and Rose Wood. The Student Council Award will be presented by Mrs. Sheila Freeman, and the recipient is Lisa Caruso and Amy Surio. And the service awards go to Clarissa Delgado, James Lord, and Mark Schuneman. The next will be the United States Army Scholarship. It will be presented by Major Dale Page, a $40,000 Army ROT scholarship to the University of Florida, and the recipient is Jacob Covelli. The United States Air Force Scholarship will be presented by Colonel Russell Weller. This is a $40,000 Air Force ROT scholarship to the University of Florida. The recipient is Gary Blood. The United States Army College Fund certificates will be presented by Captain Stanley McCullough. These seniors have enlisted in the Army for at least 2 years. Upon completion of their commitment, they will receive amounts up to $25,200 toward their college education. If you would hold your applause to the end, the recipients are David Bradley, Ronnie Cribbs, Charles Limbaugh, Roland Makos, Sophia Tarkin, Gary Wallace, and Martin Watson. The United States Scholar Athlete Award will be presented again by Captain Stanley McCullough, and it will be presented to Lindsay McLeod and Veronica Smith. The Yearbook Award will be presented by Ms. Susan Collins for dedicated service to the Confederate. The recipients are Stephanie Kelly, the editor, and Jane Rhodes and Carrie Hurst, business managers. The Outstanding Photographer Award, the donor is Brent Allen Studio. This will be presented by Ms. Susan Collins, and the recipient is James Lord. The University of North Florida Award would be presented by Mrs. Lucy Shore. The UNF Alumni Achievement Award is a $500 scholarship to the University of North Florida, and the recipient is Miss Lisa Crusoe. The Scholarship Loyalty Achievement Award, the donor is the Balfour Company. This will be presented by Miss Beth Starnes, and the recipient is Stephanie Kelly.
Thank you for your attention. And now we would like to present to you the top 20 students academically in the class of 1985. As I call their names, would they come down and receive an award, and would you please hold your applause until I've called all the names. Andrea Caparelli, Terry Robbins, Stephanie Kelly, Louis Carney, Michael Stacy, Scott Miller, John Brinkman, Joyce Wilson, Michelle Zaboral, Amy Surio, David Hass, Elizabeth Janney, Clarissa Delgado, Mark Schuneman, Chris Wood, Sophia Tarkin, Keith Herron, Cecilia Johnson, Anthony Camarsi, Shannon Kirkland, and Stacy Pilla, our top 20 students. Notice Mr. Popel does a good job of hugging. And now I'd like to have your attention for another special part of our program. Every year at our awards assembly, we honor several adults who in some special way have given unselfishly of themselves to Forrest High School. Usually they are parents or former teachers. One of the ways that we show appreciation to them is by making them honorary colonels. This year, we want to recognize 4 very special people. The first is a lady who has provided unlimited support and leadership with PTSA. Having been active with PTA for over 30 years, she is presently a life member of PTSA and current president of Forrest High School PTSA. She has never said no when anybody at Forrest has asked her for help. This fine lady epitomizes the spirit of volunteerism. Forrest High School salutes Mrs. Kathy Eckloff. The next person we want to recognize is also a parent. She is a lady who has volunteered much time in service to the Band Parents Association. 2 years ago, she served as secretary, and this year she has served as president. She was contest chairman for the Northeast Florida Band Contest, which Forrest hosts every fall. Very supportive, very organized, very giving, very busy, for she works all day in addition to volunteering her time to Forrest High School and to Jeb Stuart Junior High School, where she is band president there. Forrest High School recognizes and thanks very much to Mrs. Margaret Outlaw. The last 2 people we want to recognize are former teachers. After I have given you the hard facts about them, then no doubt you will understand when I say they have made a tremendous impact upon Forrest High School. The first is a lady. She is a member of the first Forrest faculty and remains here for 24 years. For 22 of these years, she was sponsor of the Girls Athletic Association. Because of her strength as girls' PE department head, Forrest had a complete girls' athletic program. And at one time, her 440 relay team won national recognition. She was state president of the Florida Association for Health, PE, and Recreation. She was the Florida representative to the National Institute of Track and Field at the University of Oklahoma. During her time, for a 5-year period, Forrest was a demonstration school for physical education. People came from everywhere, even from other countries, to see just what we were doing in PE. She has also sold football tickets to home games for as long as I can remember, surely 75 years. Her last year, 1982-83, she was athletic director. As you can see, Shirley Cinco is big time as far as contributions to Forrest High School and Forrest students. Would you stand and Cinco? Wait just a minute before she comes down. I want to recognize the other former teacher also. This is a man. He is a Forrest graduate, and he was a member of our faculty from 1967 until 1982. During these 15 years, he did many things around here. He coached football. He was the defensive coordinator for 10 years. From time to time, he coached boys and girls tennis, JV basketball, taught physical education, business math, advanced placement English, assisted Mr. Watson in the dean's office, announced for 2 years at the Northeast Florida Band Contest held here at Forrest, sponsored the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and served as athletic director. He was everywhere and part of everything. Now, I don't believe he ever was part of the home economics department, but he did cook up many pleasurable experiences for students, such as providing a dating service during prom season, which incidentally worked out very well. One of his famous quotations, and he had many, was, "Remember, you're not a rebel for 3 years, you're a rebel for life." And that goes for you too, Mr. Bill Jackson. I'd like to say, before they sit down, I want to say one more thing. Ms. Cinco, don't go yet. These two fine people, Ms. Shirley Cinco and Mr. Bill Jackson, are prime examples of the fact that, yes, there is a valid distinction between an instructor and a teacher, though the threads are closely interwoven. An instructor is knowledge, facts, lectures, tests. A teacher, though firm and skillful in imparting knowledge, is care, warmth, concern. One is tangible, the other is intangible. An instructor is respected, a teacher is loved. Students receive grades and credits from instructors, and years later have difficulty in remembering their names. The memories of their teachers they always cherish. Mr. Bill Jackson and Ms. Shirley Cinco, we honor you as teachers.
Began orientation just 3 short years ago. The fear of getting lost and being late was always foremost in our minds. We tried to prepare ourselves for the bombardment of sophomore jokes and harassment that had been a continuing tradition. The year of excitement and bewilderment was finally over, and we anticipated the thought of finally ending our reign as sophomores. Our junior year began with the celebration of Forrest's 25th anniversary. The parking lot was filled with newly licensed drivers, and the halls were filled with breakdancers. Our anxiously awaited class drinks were in, and we thought forward to our summertime senior pictures. Forrest cheered the ROTC on as they won the world title for the second year in a row. The Miss Forrest pageant arrived and became a very memorable night, not only for me, but for all the contestants as well. The anticipation of becoming a senior became a reality as the new school year started. John Brown was elected senior class president, and Lisa Crusoe became student council president. Forrest had the honor of having its yearbook and senior announcements chosen to be used as samples all across the nation. The runners-up of Mr. Forrest were announced at Rebel Yell, and our new Mr. Forrest was Mark Myers. At the homecoming game the next night, Linda Gross was crowned queen. Scott Miller and Terry Robbins had the honor of being chosen National Merit Finalists, but the greatest honor is to be named valedictorian and salutatorian. These prestigious positions are held by Andrea Caparelli and Terry Robbins. As the day of graduation nears, we find ourselves looking back through the past 3 years and remembering them as some of the best times of our lives. On behalf of the senior class, Mr. Poppel, please accept the 1985 scrapbook.
Every year as a tradition, the senior class gives Forrest High School a gift. This gift will beautify the school and remain here always to be a reminder of our class in the years to come. The senior class officers have purchased a flowering cherry tree and has been planted in the front of the school. This plaque will also be planted by the tree, and it reads, given by the 1985 class of Nathan Bedford Forrest High School on May 17, 1985. How about you please accept it?
On this occasion, we are gathered to recognize the outstanding members of the 1985 senior class. But we must not forget those who helped bring this class to a successful end. To Candy Bennett, in remembrance for the senior class, thanks for helping with the assemblies and awards day. Starnes, we would like to thank you for your thoughtfulness and sincere dedication to the class of '85. Mr. Poppel, we have a gift for you. This is an appreciation for all your support during the year. Thank you. And last but not least, the Nathan Bedford Forrest class of 1985 would like to present this gift to Ms. DeAngelis as an expression of our gratitude for her loyalty, hard work, and dedication for the senior class of 1985.
Thank you, Sophia, and all the officers. I'd like to take this time to thank you, the 1985 class of Nathan Bedford Forrest High School. You, last spring, selected an excellent slate of officers. This year, they have been truly dedicated to your class, from selling M&Ms to senior T-shirts, and of course, most recently, working on your graduation slideshow. They have put in many long hours for your class. I think that you will be pleased just 2 short weeks from now when you see that slideshow graduation night. I would like to present to them just a small token of my appreciation for all their dedication. If you'll come up, please. Stephanie. The best graduating class. And before we come
It really gives me a great deal of pleasure because this, to me, is one of the most important parts, and that's the introduction of our valedictorian. I might mention I'm probably more happier this year than I've ever been because Andrea is so nervous over here she's about to drive me crazy. So I told her the worst part about making a speech is walking up here, and I know she'll do a good job. Our valedictorian has been very active at Forrest, a native of Massachusetts. She has lived in the Jacksonville area for about 5 years, coming to Forrest in the 11th grade from Stanton College Prep High School. She quickly became involved in numerous organizations and activities. In her junior year, she worked very hard as a reporter on the newspaper staff and became a member of the French Club and National Honor Society. This year, she moved up to editor-in-chief of the Rebel Review, historian of the National Honor Society, and her honors include the National English Merit Award, the United States Mathematics Award, and she is the school's pride winner in social studies. Just as our salutatorian, she was selected as the most likely to succeed in the Senior Favorites Contest. Her career plans, although indefinite, she plans to enter Loyola University in New Orleans this fall, where she probably most likely will major in communications. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Frank Caparella, could not be here today because Mr. Caparella's job has already transferred him to Slidell, Louisiana, where she would join him shortly. She's number 1 out of a class of 350. Her GPA is 4.3714. It is with great pleasure that I present the valedictorian of the class of 1985, Andrea Lynn Caparella.
Graduation dressed in our caps and gowns. Today, seniors have been awarded for their hard work and achievements in a variety of categories: academics, business, vocation, home economics, ROTC, and sports. The purpose of rewarding these students is to recognize their individual talent. Each one of us has a unique talent of one type or another. It might be in math or science. It might be typing 75 words a minute, or it might be making touchdowns on a football field. It doesn't matter which talent you have, each one is of equal value. High school, it doesn't have to be academics. High school is a lot more than homework and books. High school is the fun times and the friends. It's football games and rebel yell. It's the prom and grad night. High school works to combine the two, work and play, in order to prepare us for the future in the real world full of adults. Forrest plays an important role in this preparation. Its job is to mold responsible, educated, mature adults out of naive, childish sophomores. And everyone has seen the sophomores we get this year and knows how tough a job it must be. High school provides us with the education we'll need for the rest of our lives. Some of us won't be going to college, therefore we have to get our education in high school. Some will go to college in the fall, some will get a job right away, and others still will get married and settle down. Altogether, the seniors of 1985 will make up every profession in the community. In 10 years, Ron Peterson could be playing in the Super Bowl. Terry Robbins could be president of the IBM. Ron Smith might even be singing in a Broadway musical. Carrie Kirst might even be the proud mother of 4 little boys. And Kelly Wise will probably still be trying to figure out what it is she wants to do. It doesn't make any difference what you choose to do with your life, as long as you enjoy it and try your best to do a good job. Just don't ever forget being a Forrest rebel and make those memories of the past a part of your future. And the entire senior class, I would like to express our appreciation for this award ceremony. I am sure I speak for every senior when I say that seeing so many of my classmates being recognized has certainly been enjoyable. It makes us realize more than ever that we do indeed have a great senior class. It is also very rewarding to see some of our parents here. Your presence means a great deal to us. Thanks to Mr. Basso and Mrs. Blacioli for putting the program, to Hall's Nursery for allowing us to borrow the flowers, to Mrs. Tomlin, Mrs. Calloway, and the Zeta Club for the decorations. The balloons are especially festive. Of course, thank you to the teachers for recognizing us. And last, thank you, Forrest High School, for many wonderful memories. I have an announcement. All seniors, the graduation will be collected Tuesdays, May 21st and 28th in Woodley.